Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 9 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone had a great day, safe day. Let's make it a great night, folks. Let's take a look at one of our 4 agreements. To master love, you have to practice love. The art of relationship is a whole mastery, and the only way to reach mastery is with practice. To master a relationship is therefore about action. It is not about attaining knowledge. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We had the Dow Industrials down 76, NASDAQ off 20, S&P's off 4.5. Gold contract down $13.80, trading at $1,398 an ounce. Silver off 25 cents at $22.47 an ounce. Platinum down $3 at $1,493 an ounce. Copper up 3 pennies at $3.36 a pound. Light sweet crude flat at $93.52 a barrel. Bonds down 12 ticks at 139.30. King dollar up 57 ticks at 82.74. The euro is trading at 130.87, and the yen up 43 at 99.95. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world. In the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look at them. Deviance, folks, is a wild thing, particularly in the marketplace. And this is what you have. So what do we do? Well, we come off the highs. Yesterday, what you did, you had a lower low. We were talking about it wasn't a hammer. You had a high volume low. Bottom line, gets to a higher high today. Can't handle it. Running right into the low. What you're doing, folks, is that you're building cause to get to lower price. We're down $7. You're at the 16 to 30 area. The next leg down here will take this somewhere around the 1597 area. Right now we're at 1632. That's on your S&Ps. We go over to the Dow Industrials. We take a look at the Dow. What we have with the Dow Industrials is that she come back 76 points. Not that that's a lot. What it is, though, is that what you have is that you're hammering the bottom swing point, that bottom swing point being that 15,100 area. So what you'll see inside the Dow Industrials, the next step down here is going to be somewhere around the 14,800 area. NASDAQ Composite. What we have with the composite is this. Composite comes down $20, does the same setup. We had that high volume low yesterday. That high volume low still hasn't got tested, which is out there at the 34.19 area, rather. And the NASDAQ Composite, folks, the volume is really hammering low. Okay, this is the third day. $2 billion days, 2 billion share days, and today we're at 1.8. That is building cause to break out and break down the 34.22 area, which was the 23rd. And, we'll see how we break it. See, there's nothing, what happens is this. Upswings are great if you have floors in the middle of them. They're a disaster when you have nothing in the middle of them. And this is what we have inside the NASDAQ Composite, because we went straight up from 3154 up to 35. So what happens in a situation like that is that when it breaks down, there's nothing to stop it on the way down. Like the first thing to stop the NASDAQ, to slow it down even, is at 3,300. And we'll see whether it gets slow at there. And that's only 2 days of trading. You can definitely get slowed down to 32.58. But that's important to understand, because once it starts moving the other way, there's just nothing there. Now, the same is applicable, folks, is that let's say that you come down that heavy and then you start up. If you have an area that you've come down, let's say it's 15 points in between, well, when you start cutting into the area going up, it's the same deal. That's not a resistance area. It's traded there, but it wouldn't be until you get to a bulk of trading. That's where you get support. That's where you get resistance. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Let's go over and take a look at that gold market. So gold out here today, what we have is this. Now, yesterday what you had, of course, is that we had the dollar got slammed. Gold still couldn't do anything. Okay. Today what you have a sideways market in gold, down 13, but that's really a sideways market. We'll see how it wants to get into these lows, because what we do have intraday, and this is where you can get the clue where it wants to go. We're at 1398. We have a high volume intraday low now at 1388. So it's going down there. Bottom line, you get the same type of acceleration that we got down there today. It's going to bust it out. It's going to bust it out, and more than likely it wants to run into at least the last low that was out there, that was generated out there. And that number we're talking there is about the 1338 area. So we'll see whether 1338 holds. 1321 is right below that area. Inside the Dow today, you had a couple of features that were there. IBM was one of them. IBM come down 276. Now, IBM had gone up to that gap. Remember, it gapped down, monster volume. Goes up to the gap, couldn't hold the gap, comes down. Volume wasn't heavy today on IBM. We'll see what type of volume we get on a follow-through. We're going to go take a look at good old Apple inside the NDX 100. And we have what Apple is this. She sideways again, but I can tell you, what Apple has done on a continual basis is this, is that each and every swing high, she absolutely has no volume at all. And she'll hang up there for 4 or 5 days, and then the volume starts accelerating down. In that context, that's saying that Apple is going to make another run down to the 418 level and more than likely make a run to the 389 level. So Apple is really in dangerous territory right now. Inside the NDX 100 today, what we had, the strength was Monster.com. That's interesting. Oh, Monster Beverage, and that's interesting. That's going to be a dead cat bounce. No, it's not. Oh, interesting. Hold, let me pull this back. That's something that. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, it is. Okay, so Monster Beverage, that was up 10% today. But what you do have on that is that she had come down so dramatically. She's going into a downdraft that's out there. We take a look at some of the other strength inside the Index 100. You had Staples. That stock's done. Adobe, not bad. Taking strength out of it. Oh, see, this is interesting how this is working. So you had Biogen down $7. You had Alexa Pharmaceutical down $2.92. There's a real identification here, and you had Celgene down $3.18. Now watch this, folks, okay? Because this is what I was noticing. Remember a couple weeks ago, what happened is that first off, the biotechs inside the NDX 100 were taking it up. They basically had taken over the NDX 100 on the way up. Now, Biogen, which is a good setup, but wants to pull back to a price point of 186. The stock went straight up from 140 up to 240, $100, okay? So it wants to pull back to this 186 area. If you remember a couple weeks ago, that was the first one that they start giving it up. They went from 246 down to a price point of 209. Gets to a higher high, gives it up again. Volume is expanding now on the way down. So what you're going to see, in particular, out of the top 4 that were weakest in the Index 100, 3 of them were biotechs. Biogen had volume twice now. Accelerated volume. Let's see what Alexa Pharmaceutical looks like. Alexa Pharmaceutical. She's in a consolidation, but she's going a lot lower. Alexa's down 280. No, she's not. Yeah, she's going $10 lower. She's at 92 right now. And Alexa Pharmaceutical is in a consolidation pattern. And Celgene. Let's see what Celgene's doing. So Celgene. There she is. Celgene was down $3. And this is going to be a trip. Celgene has some problems. Celgene, this is a big ice cream cone up here. It's going to basically fall. Celgene, it can really take a hit. Celgene is at 117, and we'll see how she handles the 112 area, but I suspect she's not going to handle it too well and get into the $91 area. That can be a big problem. We take a look at some of the large caps out here. We had Caterpillar. Was down 21. Boeing was off $1.13. Honeywell was down $1.14. You had Walmart up 25. Let's go over and take a look at Intel, because Intel had some juice yesterday on the top side. Okay, so what it does, gets to a higher high. Volume still not bad. Gave it up on price then. Let's go to AMAT and take a look at AMAT. AMAT, okay. AMAT gave it up on lighter volume. Texas Instruments, TXN. The reason we wanted to look at this is that because that sector actually looks pretty good, folks. And Texas Instruments, yeah, she doesn't have it. This is Tom O'Brien. This is TFNN. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. We had the Dow out 76. NASDAQ off 20. S&P's off 9.5. We're going to be right back, folks.